afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. A little break in the heat and humidity today.
Yeah, it feels very nice.
We'll find out when the heat is returning. But first, here's what's making news on this Thursday. The WIAA says it will allow fall high school sports to go on, including football.
A trend is developing among parents and students as concerns about returning to school this fall remain. We'll explain. And the U.S. has now recorded more than 4 million cases of COVID-19. What health officials warn could happen next. Let's take a look outside. Oh, that's a great shot. There's sailboats out at Marshall Park. Humidity is creeping back in, the weather words, and Chris Reese is in the backyard where it's still pretty nice today.
It is nice. We'll tell you it's a little bit more humid this afternoon as opposed to yesterday afternoon. And as the weather word said, it's only creeping back in. But tomorrow and by Saturday, you'll certainly begin to notice a bigger difference in terms of just how humid it is. But still, it's a beautiful afternoon. Temperatures are right around 79 for us. We expected today's high to be at 79. That is where we're standing at the warmest part of the day. But here are those dew points. Yesterday at this time, they were in the 50s. Right now, we're seeing those dew points back into the lower 60s, and they're going to creep up into the 60s and 70s as we go throughout your weekend. No showers or thunderstorms out there right now. We've remained dry, so that's some positive news for us. Really throughout the entire state of Wisconsin, any showers or thunderstorms, those were over Iowa, but even those have fallen apart, all thanks to high pressure that's in control for us. We'll fall back down through the 70s, going through the evening, and then into the 60s as we head into tonight. We're looking at overnight lows right around 60 degrees. A quick look at your first warn traffic. We are not seeing any major issues. Of course, you have plenty of green on the maps there. A couple shades of yellow as you work your way up Fish Hatchery closer towards campus, the Isthmus, and downtown. We'll continue to watch those routes as we go throughout the show. Of course, we'll have your full forecast coming up as well, looking towards the weekend around 4:30.
All right, we will check back in just a little while. Chris, thank you. First at 4, the WIAA making a big decision today about fall sports here in the state of Wisconsin.
The board voted today to move forward with the season, but with some exceptions. Melissa Kim is here to explain it all. Melissa?
Well, hi there, Mark and Susan. So the WIAA has divided fall sports into 2 categories. You have lower risk ones like girls golf, girls tennis, girls swimming, and girls and boys cross country. And then you have higher risk sports. That includes football, boys and girls volleyball, and girls soccer. Those are the ones that you would naturally have a little more human contact. Now, the lower risk sports will start practice on August 17th, while the higher risk ones are being pushed back to September 7th. Now, what about here in the greater Madison area, where the Big 8 conference already said on Tuesday that it wouldn't have sports this fall? Well, the WIAA is working on some options for those schools to play in the spring and any other schools that are in those higher risk COVID-19 areas.
We have a history here in our state of having both a spring baseball season and a summer baseball season. We've gotten it done. So what if we have a football season and a traditional season, and then we come back and figure out a calendar that allows those members who are not able to go in the traditional fall season an opportunity for a football season sometime in the spring. Let's provide as many opportunities for this membership to serve their kids. I say that now recognizing it is not that one size fits all.
So with that in mind, WIAA Executive Director Dave Anderson, who you just saw there, he says it's important to give these student athletes as many opportunities to participate in sports as possible. And what about postseason? Well, Anderson says they're still working on a plan, but they want to shift away from a state championship mindset and maybe move towards a regional or district championship, but nothing set in stone yet.
Still a lot of questions. Melissa Kim, thank you. More than 900 more people have tested positive for COVID-19 in Wisconsin. State health officials reported more than 1,000 new cases, but News 3 Now reported many of those cases yesterday. The state is nearing 900 deaths as 13 more people died within the last 24 hours.
There are now more than 4 million coronavirus infections on record in the United States. The country passed that milestone this afternoon. Chris Martinez has the latest.
Today, Florida reported 173 deaths, another daily record. Hard-hit Miami-Dade County, Florida's most populated, reported more than 2,700 new cases. Florida's governor insists hospitals can handle the patient load.
We've had between 20 and 25% of our beds available. We've also had between 15 and 20% of ICU beds available statewide.
But 10 hospitals in Miami-Dade say they have 0 or only 1 ICU bed available.
So by the end of the week, we will be 100% full. A COVID patient can stay in the system for up to 2 months.
64-year-old Larry Kelly was hospitalized for 4 months in New York City. He was finally released Wednesday after suffering from pneumonia, brain hemorrhages, and infections. He spent 51 days on a ventilator.
My wife saved my life. She wouldn't let them pull the plug.
Texas hit a new daily record for coronavirus deaths Wednesday. 197 people died, bringing the death toll to more than 4,300 since the pandemic started. Los Angeles County is the epicenter of the virus here in California. Local health officials are urging people to stay home as much as possible and avoid gatherings outside their own households.
You have a mask on? A mask?
Yeah. Sheriff's deputies are walking the streets in L.A., making sure people are complying with the rules.
We're not looking to fine you into oblivion, but we want to garner your attention. And as most Americans, when a fine is being placed on them, they're more apt to follow the rules.
Health officials say coronavirus is on track to become the second leading cause of death in Los Angeles County, behind heart disease. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And a new study reveals 3 out of 4 Americans favor requiring people to wear face coverings while outside their homes. The AP NORC Center for Public Affairs research poll found that most Democrats and 58% of Republicans polled support such policies.
President Trump will hold another coronavirus briefing this evening as his aides and Republican lawmakers say the final details on their deal on a relief bill could come by the end of the week. White House officials say they've reached a fundamental agreement with congressional Republicans on a Phase 4 coronavirus package. The final proposal will not include a payroll tax cut. That's something President Trump had fought for despite opposition from Democrats and some Republicans. One sticking point could be unemployment benefits, with the additional $600 payments championed by Democrats.
Why do they have to make a fuss over $600, which means a lot to many working families?
I would not support something that would pay on unemployment more than you would earn if you were working.
The two sides are also split over the amount of additional funding for testing. White House negotiators are hopeful a final bill will be ready for a vote by the end of next week.
Governor Tony Evers says he is looking at a potential mask mandate for the state. Evers was joined by State Health Secretary designee Andrea Palm this afternoon for a COVID-19 briefing. Palm says around 1/3 of all new cases are people in their 20s, and many of them say they attended parties or bars.
I know it can be difficult to hear these numbers. We know that each case is a person struggling with the stress of this diagnosis and what that means for their family and their health.
Palm is once again asking people to practice social distancing, to wear a mask, and to stay at home whenever possible.
Well, parents are considering new options to support their kids' virtual learning experience this upcoming school year.
Many are forming pods and micro schools. Our Jamie Perez explains what they are and how parents can get involved. Jamie?
Pods are essentially small groups of students who get together with a private teacher or a tutor to learn in lieu of having this in-person instruction. Now, this is appealing to a lot of parents this year who want extra academic support and structure for their kids that just aren't getting that with the virtual education. It's also an option for those who need some extra help with childcare and to fill in some gaps that do come with learning online.
Or just straightforward, like, we need the academics and we need them to move at the typical pace. And we need the teacher support that would go with that. Or if they're really looking for, we need our student to be structured and be able to manage their work and manage themselves and really take care of the getting things done.
Now, not all pods will look the same or will be the same price. To find one that works for you, they say to start by networking with families of kids that go to the same school as yours. You can look through tutoring services like Galen Education from the man that you just heard from, or even join some Facebook groups. There are several out there right now that will help pair you with a pod that is in your age group and of the right price range for you as well.
All right, Jamie Perez reporting for us live. Jamie, thank you. The U.S. government reports another 1.4 million Americans filed for first-time unemployment benefits last week. It's the first time initial jobless claims have gone up in nearly 4 months. It comes as some states roll back reopening plans and newly reopened businesses close down again amid surging coronavirus cases. And the additional $600 a week enhanced unemployment payments are set to expire at the end of the month. On a positive note, continued claims, which count people who have applied for benefits for at least 2 weeks in a row, slipped to 16.2 million. That's down by more than 1 million from the week before. Those numbers did not sit well with investors. The Dow Industrials lost 353 points, closing at 26,652. The Nasdaq fell 244 points, and the S&P 500 was off 40.
The city of Portland saw more violent clashes between protesters and federal officers overnight. This comes as President Trump is boosting the number of federal officers in other cities that he says have high crime rates. Federal officers sent tear gas and rubber bullets into a crowd of protesters outside the federal courthouse in Portland. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler was in the crowd and told the New York Times the federal officers' reaction made things worse. On CBS this morning, Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Chad Wolfe accused Mayor Wheeler of supporting violent protesters.
What's your name? Tell us your name. He could have chosen to go to peaceful protesting, had a audience there, and could have made his points. He chose to go to an area that has seen 54 nights of criminal activity, targeting a federal courthouse and targeting federal law enforcement officers.
DHS says the operation in Portland is separate from President Trump's announcement yesterday that he is surging hundreds of federal agents to cities that he says are plagued by violent crime. Under Operation Legend, the Department of Justice is sending 200 agents to Chicago, 35 to Albuquerque to work with violent criminal task forces already working with local police.
Well, when we come back, it's time to hit the road.
We'll go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs in the 2020 Volvo V60 T5 cross-country wagon. Yes, it's a station wagon. Wow, that's a beautiful shot, isn't it? It's not around here, apparently. That's when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Let's summer. Let's dine out by truly dining out. Let's send smoke signals to the neighbors, then serve up the freshest of food with a side of fresh air. Let's raise our tongs to tasty by introducing our grills to new thrills and make mouths water more than a backyard slip and slide. Let's live a little more by having another s'more. Because summer is here, and no one does summer like Festival Foods.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? Well, relax. The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call the number on your screen and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month. So call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-451-3571 to receive your free Carefree Dental Card information kit.
There's time for adventure, there's people to treasure and moments that no one can hold. There's so much to see when you're wandering free on this little blue world we call home. We call home, the only one we've ever known. This time tomorrow,
day trips are better than daydreams. Experience the adventure of a bigger world in a highly capable Lexus SUV. Visit your local Lexus dealer in person or online for exceptional offers at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $339 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Getting your air ducts thoroughly cleaned takes the trained professionals at Stanley Steamer using the most powerful equipment to get the most powerful results. Our equipment goes deep inside your ducts, removing years of dirt, pet hair, allergens, even dust mites. Unlike other air duct cleaning companies, Stanley Steamer cleans your entire system. Just look at how much dirt can be removed. Call today for a free inspection and save $50 on a cleaning.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
This isn't about today.
It's about the next 10 years.
But this is something you can do today.
You can make a difference today.
By completing the 2020 census.
The census impacts hospitals,
schools,
public transportation,
and most importantly, our representation in government.
It gives us an opportunity to be heard.
It's easy.
It's only 10 questions.
So do your part.
Go to 2020census.gov and complete the census today.
What are you waiting for?
Well, much like the airlines, America's passenger railroad Amtrak is facing the worst economic disaster in its history.
An unprecedented drop in demand is forcing service cuts and furloughs. Amtrak is capping ridership at 50% for distancing and requiring masks for all on board. Plexiglass barriers have been added to the cafe car and in the stations. The biggest change you probably won't see is Amtrak's new cleaning protocol. The trains are disinfected at the end of every trip. They have air filters and circulate cabin air 40 to 50 times an hour, completely replacing the air in a car every 4 to 5 minutes.
We have now focused more so on making sure handles, seats, tables, bathrooms, contact points are all cleaned.
This was supposed to be the year Amtrak broke even for the first time in its 49-year history, but by the time new CEO Bill Flynn officially started in April, ridership was in free fall, down 97%. Amtrak now expects next year's ridership to be cut in half, forcing the furlough of 20% of its workforce by October. It's part of an effort to slash costs by $500 million while asking the federal government, which subsidizes the railroad, for more than $3.5 billion to weather the pandemic next year.
From trains to automobiles, but not just any automobile. We're talking Ferraris. A lot of Ferraris. Owners of these famed sports cars brought color and flair to Rome as they paraded their mostly sparkling red vehicles past the city's most famous landmarks. About 50 Ferrari owners descended on this Italian capital from all over the country. The initiative was organized by the Club of Amateur Ferrari Drivers called the Club Passion Rossa, or Red Passion Club.
A lot of red ones. Only a couple different colors I saw there. Red and yellow, maybe a blue one.
I think you have to have red and Ferrari.
Yeah, well, we showed this video just for Harvey.
That's right.
Well, speaking of, if you're of a certain age, your parents probably drove a station wagon at some point in your life. Those were eventually replaced by minivans.
And those were eventually replaced by SUVs, but a few station wagons remain. And Rides and Drives' Harvey Briggs says if you're shopping for an SUV, you do yourself a favor to check out the Volvo V60 all-wheel drive cross-country. We check it out as Harvey goes behind the wheel.
So this is the Volvo V60 Cross Country, and in my eye, it is gorgeous. It's a mid-size all-wheel drive wagon, and it competes with mid-size crossovers like the BMW X5 and Audi Q5, and also the Audi A4 all-road all-wheel drive wagon as well. There aren't a lot of other options if you really want an all-wheel drive, go-anywhere wagon. You know, there is plenty of room for 5 people inside this vehicle. You've got this great panoramic sunroof that really makes both the front and the second row seem very spacious. And behind that second row, there's plenty of room for bags for a vacation. And one of the nice things about the V60 Cross Country is that you can get a rack for the roof. You can put your skis on there. You can put your mountain bikes on there, and you don't need a step ladder to reach those things like you would for an SUV. This V60 Cross Country is fully loaded, so you've got heated leather seats, the hand-stitched heated leather steering wheel, this really nice wood veneer to go along with it. But even in the base model, I really like the City Weave fabric seats that they have, and even the standard trim feels very upmarket. Really, my one complaint with this car is that the Sensus system is pretty much all touchscreen other than the HVAC portion of it. So doing things like changing the channel, entering the navigation, some of those things take a little more attention away from the road than I would like. Otherwise, I find very little to complain about with this vehicle. Pricing for the Volvo V60 Cross Country starts at $45,100, and when you load it all up like this one, it ends up at $56,990, which is a lot of money, but you compare it to a BMW X5, you're right there. You know, this is a Volvo, so it has all the advanced safety systems. You get adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking. You get blind spot protection, all kinds of good things. Plus, you know, Volvo goes above and beyond with some of their safety features. Like this has the run off-road system where if for some reason you lose concentration, you go off into a ditch, it actually uses the seats to help lessen the impact and reduce back injuries that happen in those types of accidents.
Harvey joins us now from the Rides and Drives World Headquarters.
Here I am, my little corner of the world.
Hi, Harvey. That's a beautiful car.
Yeah, it really is. Safety is always a big thing for Volvo.
Yeah, and it's something they have done probably more research than any other manufacturer in the world on. Every accident that involves a Volvo vehicle, they investigate to try to figure out what they can do better to protect the passengers, the driver, and also develop preventive systems for those things.
Are wagons having a resurgence in popularity?
You know, I would like to think so, but it's still an SUV world out there. You know, Buick makes a wagon now, obviously Subaru, Audi has a wagon, Mercedes, but you're not going to find them in most manufacturers' lineups.
Volvo also makes SUVs.
Yeah, if you're looking at this, you're probably going to look at the XC60, which is the SUV version of this platform. I just happen to like the way that wagon looks a whole bunch.
You said that's going to be your next car.
Could be.
That's a good endorsement.
We'll have to talk to Lisa about that, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, Harvey, thank you.
We'll see how many plants we can get in there.
That's right.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Good job, Harvey.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
to see you.
Go to ridesanddrives.com for more on this and all the cars that Harvey looks at. Still to come at 4, play ball. A shortened Major League Baseball season starts tonight.
Baseball is back. We'll find out how the season is going to be a whole lot different than seasons past. Coming up after Chris's First Warn forecast.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
The best new cars make the best used cars. That's why every Toyota certified used vehicle gets a 160-point inspection, new warranties starting the day you purchase, 1 year of roadside assistance, and more. Get as low as 0% APR financing on select Toyota certified used models. See your dealer for details.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
The summer fun means one thing. It's time to visibly say goodbye to crow's feet, fine lines, wrinkles, and under-eye bags, and say hello to smooth, beautiful, younger-looking skin in 10 minutes with Plexiderm.
Oh my God. God, I can't believe I have no lines in my face. I'm like 20 years younger.
Plexiderm smooths away wrinkles without foundation, without color makeup, and without expensive procedures. And it works in 10 minutes. Plus, the results last up to 10 hours. And best of all, you could try it for only $14.95 this summer.
This isn't the first time I've been on TV raving about this product. It's amazing. My friends, my family, they can't believe it. There's been creams, there's been lotions. Nothing works like this.
We were away on vacation. If you go down to the islands, they always want to take you in a booth and put some stuff on you. And my husband said, boy, that stuff really works. And I said, I washed this off hours ago. This is Plexiderm. This is what works.
When I tried Plexiderm the first time, my daughter said, oh, Dad, did you get a haircut? And I said, no, I tried this Plexiderm product out. Oh, you look so much younger. I said, oh, thank you.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shell clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing under-eye bags and wrinkles from view in minutes. The science is incredible, but the results are even better.
Yeah, this looks really good. All these lines are gone. Amazing. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I look amazing. It's like so full of myself.
I've had under-eye bags for a very long time, and it sucks. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm. I put it on my face, and I'm not joking. It works.
So take action this summer and pack up your under-eye bags and wrinkles and put them on vacation with Plexiderm. Try our summertime special and get it for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Take a look at this. Talk about brotherly love. Clark's parents let out an audible gasp as he leans over and kisses his 3-day-old sister. The 2-year-old's parents can't believe the kindness of their son as he holds his sister Chloe in his arms. Clark kisses her over and over. The parents had no idea how he would react, but they say this magical moment far exceeded their expectations.
Aw, that's so priceless.
Clark's going to turn out to be a good guy.
He's going to be a good big brother.
That's for sure. All right, Chris Reese over in the Weather Center, the humidity returning.
Yep, it's getting ready to anyway. We've got a lot of heat in store for the weekend, along with alert days. As a result, we also do have chances for showers and thunderstorms. It's all coming up in the first storm forecast.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
The recent racist attack by a 60-year-old white man on 5 young African-American women in downtown Madison is but the latest example of the urgent need for white people to condemn acts of racism and hate. It is simply one of the most important ways to end this injustice. To that end, we are impressed with an upcoming Zoom webinar on what white people need to hear from other white people to be allies in making change happen. Organized by consultant Ron Luskin, a panel of 4 respected experts on the workplace, public health, housing, and advocacy will share ideas, give examples, and take questions. The webinar is next Wednesday night, the 29th at 7 p.m. Participants need to register, and you can get registration information by contacting Ron Luskin at ronluskin@tds.net. White people can end racism. White people must end racism. The more voices, the better.
We've got the power.
The Power Centers of Madison. Our customer-focused sales team will help you find the right power equipment to fit your needs. Lawn and garden, tractors, zero-turns, lawn mowers, trimmers, chainsaws, commercial equipment, and more. We carry the name brands that you know and some that you need to know. As an added incentive, you can always find factory promotions at the Power Centers of Madison.
Seattle's pledge to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Arby's 2 for $6 everyday value menu is here. Choose from a crispy chicken sandwich, a gyro, and a beef and cheddar. Any 2 for only $6 every day. Tell your friends, tell your family, yell it from the rooftops, baby. Call that guy who still owes you $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, happy Thursday afternoon, folks. We've seen the sunshine now that we got rid of the cloud cover from earlier on this morning. We have one more pleasant evening in store as well, but then eventually we start to see a return of that humidity. That climbs tomorrow. The sizzle is back, folks, as we head into the weekend. Temperature-wise, we are right at 79 degrees right now, which is where we expected the forecast high to be. Winds are out of the east to northeast at 8 miles per hour. A couple of folks into the low 80s. Janesville is at 81, Boscobel is at 82, but most of us are seeing those temperatures into the upper 70s for those highs this afternoon. Here's the high-resolution Doppler right now. We are free of the showers and thunderstorms for us. That is good news, but we're watching overall the setup that we have across the country. This warm front towards the west comes our direction. As we move into the weekend, that begins to set the stage for some of the changes that I'm anticipating. And of course, we do have high pressure and control right now. But here's the leading edge of that warmer air. Watch how that starts to build in towards the weekend. This is that next wave of heat that we're expecting. Now, thankfully, it's going to be short-lived. As we move into early next week, some of that cooler air out of Canada starts to take hold of our pattern once again, and that actually settles in for a couple of days. Still, we're going to be average in terms of temperature, but we're going to see those temperatures closer to the lower 80s as we head throughout next week instead of the upper 80s. The rest of this afternoon, we are clearing out. Overnight lows fall down towards 61 tonight. Tomorrow, that southerly wind starts to take over. We'll see those highs right around 85. Then we move into Saturday, and by Saturday, that's when we start to see those highs in the upper 80s to right around 90 again. You factor in the humidity, and it's going to feel close to 100. So alert dates for Saturday and Sunday. There will be a chance to see more showers and thunderstorms Saturday night and into your Sunday, but watch out, we're cooler by Monday. That's with lower humidity as well. By the way, the majority of this forecast features plenty of sunshine all the way from Monday through Friday and Saturday of next week.
All right, looking good. Thank you, Chris. After a nearly 4-month delay, it's time to...
Microphone, there you go.
Is it on now?
Yeah.
After a nearly 4-month delay, it's time to play ball. The Major League Baseball season is set to begin tonight after the pandemic shut things down. It's still not on?
It's still not on?
There. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's time to play ball.
Exactly. That's basically it. Baseball is back. The first game is scheduled for the nation's capital as the world champion Washington Nationals take on the New York Yankees. Ed O'Keefe reports from outside Nationals Park.
After last baseball season ended like this,
the Washington Nationals are world champions.
Fans might be shocked to see the 2020 season begin like this. Stadium seats will be empty, replaced in some cities by cardboard cutouts. Celebrations will be distanced. Coaches will be masked. and fan noise will be piped in over stadium speakers. Similar precautions were taken in Korea and Japan when those countries brought back baseball earlier this year. Although you may not see many dancing robots. And this time the net. Other U.S. leagues have been exploring different structures. Major League Soccer has been holding a World Cup-style tournament this month in Florida, and the NBA is coming back next week with no fans in attendance after a nearly 5-month hiatus and delays caused by coronavirus outbreaks at team facilities.
I'm an avid Washington National fan.
Dr. Anthony Fauci showed support for his favorite team at a congressional hearing last month. And tonight, he's throwing out the first pitch as a different kind of season gets underway.
There's not going to be people in the stands. It's just going to be televised. So I think that in and of itself tells you something about the stark difference between what we're doing right now and what we were able to do last year at this time. I used to play baseball as a young boy and as a kid in school, and I hope I don't bounce it too much.
And on this opening day, the Toronto Blue Jays are still looking for a new nest, so to speak. Canada rejected their plans to play at home, and a plan to play at PNC Park in Pittsburgh was also rejected, so we'll see where exactly that team lands. Ed O'Keefe, CBS News, at Nationals Park in Washington.
What a year.
They could use the duck pond.
Oh, there you go. That's an option. There are already problems, however. Washington Nationals star outfielder Juan Soto tested positive this afternoon for COVID-19. He will not be with the team this evening.
MLB reconfigured its division for this season so teams don't have to travel great distances to their games. The Milwaukee Brewers will start their season against the biggest rivals, the Cubs, tomorrow in Chicago. The first pitch is at 6:10. And we have some breaking news. President Trump has just announced that he is canceling the Jacksonville, Florida portion of the Republican National Convention. He says with the pandemic, timing is just not right. He did say there will be a reduced convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, where he will give his acceptance speech.
We'll have more on this at 5 and always on channel3000.com as well.
Stay with us here. Dr. Zorba Pastor will take your calls later on in this half hour.
And then coming up tonight at 5, you've likely seen an ad for President Trump on this station. Political reporter Amy Reed says it needs some clarification. She'll have a reality check coming up tonight at 5.
I am crushing this to-do list.
Let me see. Smart home upgrade? Home gym?
Check.
What about the window, siding, and doors?
Cross something important off your list. Free installation on all windows, siding, and doors. And no interest for 1 year. The biggest sale of the year is here.
Free installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feltco.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Social distancing and family quarantines are a jarring reality for kids. It's a big adjustment, so it's important that we adults do what we can to help them navigate this new normal. Encourage your kids to ask questions and give them honest, age-appropriate answers. Show them things that they can do to regain some control. And above all, reassure them that their safety is your top priority.
Now more than ever, SSM Health and News 3 Now encourage you to take time for kids.
Shop Grand Appliance in-store or online for the area's lowest prices on hundreds of in-stock appliances, 0% interest through 2022 on qualifying purchases, and up to $500 in extra savings available exclusively at Grand Appliance. Save with great deals like this Samsung front-load washer-dryer pair with large 4.5 cubic foot washer capacity and steam cleaning for just $12.46 after rebate. Grand Appliance and TV. You make it home, we make it grand.
Wow, you ready?
Yeah, let me just grab my wallet.
Uh-oh, I've seen this before. Wallet way too big, skinny jeans too skinny.
I'll just carry it.
Before you break something, you should know you don't actually need a wallet. With BMO Harris, you can just take cash out with your phone. Or if you need to, you can pay them with Zelle. That works? Yeah. You're stuck, aren't you? Smile. Those jeans are way too tight.
That feeling you get when no wallet is no big deal. That's the BMO effect.
Ahead at 5, the WIAA has announced they are planning on having high school sports in the fall. We'll break down the plans and what it means for schools in Dane County at 5.
Warmer, more humid weather tomorrow will lead to a hot and humid weekend with thunderstorm chances Saturday night and Sunday. My News 3 Now First Warn forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, protesters against wearing masks rally in downtown Madison. We'll hear from local health experts about why they should be worn to protect others.
Here's a live look downtown. What does Chris call those clouds?
Decorator clouds. I call them Simpson clouds.
Yeah, right, from the Simpson show. It does look like that. It's a beautiful afternoon in downtown Madison. One more day before the heat and humidity come back. Well, we are 1 week into Dane County's mask mandate. Health officials say the rate of spread in Dane County is already going down.
So is there a big difference between the rate of spread in Dane County compared to other counties without a mask mandate? Dr. Zorba Pastor joins us to discuss that and other pandemic-related issues. Good to see you again, Zorba.
Good to see you guys.
So what's the message here? Masks work?
You bet. Masks work, social distancing works. When we look at the various counties in Wisconsin, the counties that have a mask, like this one, or any kind of other mask, any kind of mask you have, the rates are going down. The per capita rates are going down. In the areas where they're not wearing masks, the rates are going up. Now, you do the math. If they go up, there's more COVID. There's going to be more death and more problems. And if they go down, do what it says. You know, I think the people like who recently went to the rally today, you know, I don't want to wear a mask. Those are the same people who went to rallies. It's my right to smoke in a restaurant. You know, I can smoke wherever I want to. Remember, there were a whole bunch of people that said, don't get rid of smoking. I should be able to smoke. And the reality is eventually society said, no, you can't smoke here. It affects me. When you don't wear a mask, if you have COVID, it affects me. And I'll give you an example. I heard of a number of football players that were at a party. These are former Badger players. I have a good source for this. And they were playing beer pong. And for any of our viewers that don't know what beer pong is, all they have to do is Google it. And it turned out one of them, they don't know which one had COVID. There were 20 guys at the party. They were all in their 30s. It turned out that about 10 of them, 12 of them got COVID. 5 of them got really sick. 1 ended up in the hospital. We've got to take it seriously, tamp down the curve until the immunization comes out, and then you can do whatever you want to.
Yeah, because cases are still on the rise. In Wisconsin, they went up 100,000 today, and we crossed that grim 4 million milestone in the U.S.
Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now, in the immunization front, there actually is good news. There are a number of immunization candidates on the horizon, looking good. Pfizer is one of them, along with the federal government. We don't know exactly when it will be out. There still has to be something called phase 3 studies. There'll be big studies. I, for one, am going to volunteer for that. They'll measure antibodies, but right now it's looking very good. I think certainly next year by this time we will have an immunization, maybe a month or 2 before. But until you immunize millions and millions and millions of people, COVID is going to be here, and it's going to be here until we basically stop it in its tracks. And one of the ways to stop it right now is to wear this mask. It should not be a political issue. It shouldn't be any more than a political issue than washing your hands after you go to the toilet. You wash your hands so you don't infect other people. You no longer spit on the ground so you don't infect other people. You wear the mask so you don't cause me any trouble or cause somebody else who's even older than I am to die. Be a good citizen, wear a mask.
Wear a mask. 270-9933 is the number to call if you have a question for Zorba. 270-9933. We'll get to your calls right after this.
Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Baca Enterprises is truly humbled and thankful to all of our employees, residents, families, and vendors for their patience and cooperation.
Our employees have gone above and beyond with sanitation efforts, altering their daily routines, all while spreading joy and happiness throughout our community.
As you look forward to the future, Beaver Dam Assisted Living will be here for you.
To provide a sense of security and to provide comfort by keeping you safe and healthy.
Together, we're moving forward to help you live life with confidence. Call today to schedule your tour.
Find your keys. Find your get up and go. Find pants that aren't sweats. Find your friends. Find your sense of wonder. Find the world is new again. At Chevy, we'd like to take you there. Now, during the Chevy Open Road Sales Event, get up to 15% of MSRP cash back on select 2020 models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. It's time to find new roads again.
We are the Thrivers, women with metastatic breast cancer. Our time for more time has come. Living longer is possible and proven in postmenopausal women taking Kisqali plus fulvestrant. In a clinical trial, Kisqali plus fulvestrant helped women live longer with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer, and it significantly delayed disease progression. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious liver problems and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Lately, we've found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
Bradley O'Neill grips it and rips it, flying into the air at a moto climb series event in North Dakota. There are multiple angles of this incredible jump as you see him safely float to the ground. Even his motorcycle has a parachute for a soft landing. This is the very first time Brad or anybody else has ever performed a moto base jump in front of a crowd, and people loved it.
Wow.
It's time to get your coronavirus and medical questions answered live.
The number to call is 270-9933. Dr. Zorba Pastor joins us once again. And let's go to Catherine in Madison. Hi, Catherine. What's your question?
Hi. I'm wondering what your thoughts are about going to the dentist to get your teeth cleaned as long as they're following the safe guidelines.
I think that is a safe thing to do. Is there a risk? They're really, really good. I just went to my dentist, had my teeth cleaned. I was very happy with what they did. They came out, checked my temperature, asked me a bunch of questions. I went in with a mask. Obviously, I'm going to have my mask off while they're doing my teeth, but they had their masks on the rest of the time. Is there a risk? There's probably a little risk because you're going there, but there's a risk whenever you go out. So to me, the risk is minimal. The risk is greatest going out to a bar in Rock County or Greene County. That's where you're going to get COVID, not at the dentist.
All right, let's go to Kathy in Madison. Hi, Kathy. What's your question?
Hi, everyone. I just have a question and concern. I did test positive for the antibodies for the COVID virus. When the vaccine comes out, will there be any concern with me getting that or any contraindications before I do receive it?
Yeah, most likely not. You know, we give immunizations to people who have influenza all the time. We don't check them for antibodies, and they may have antibodies for the previous immunization. And the coronavirus is most likely close to the immunization that we get for influenza. So I would say no, you could do it. By the way, influenza rates are dropping in the southern hemisphere in Australia and New Zealand. They're the first ones to get influenza. And the reason why they're dropping dramatically is because people are wearing masks when they're sick and they're not commingling. So it's very interesting. If we do that, we also will cut our influenza season really short.
All right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Let's go to Steve in Middleton. Hi, Steve. What's your question?
How you doing, Doctor? I am over 70 years old. I wear my mask, do everything I can. What I can't understand is I have a friend who lives up in Richland Center. I said, hey, do you guys wear a mask up there? A few people. It's no big deal, We live up here in the country. We're not even worried about that. You are telling me some useful information. Why aren't other physicians up in the entire area in Wisconsin preaching the same thing? And why do I drive 25 miles away from Madison and I don't have to wear a mask? I don't understand this.
Right. Well, we have to educate people. Ultimately, that's what Dr. Fauci says. The answer is education. The answer is to keep on doing it. Remember, when we told people we wanted no smoking in restaurants and no smoking in bars, it took a while before people actually said, we're not going to do it. And it's going to be the same for masks. But masks, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and the answer to your friend who doesn't wear a mask is wear a mask. You're keeping me healthy when you wear a mask.
We're one of the few states without a statewide mandate, so...
Right. Well, that's because politics has entered into public health. And public health should simply be run by doctors, by scientists, and not by politicians. I don't know of any politician in the state of Wisconsin who has an MD degree. Why are they interfering with public health? And the answer is, I don't know. You figure it out.
All right. Let's go to Sandra in Sun Prairie. Hi, Sandra. What's your question?
Yes. Does just a blood test determine that you have the coronavirus without doing anything else, just having blood work done?
Well, first of all, we don't really know what it means, and secondarily, there are false positives and false negatives. So you may get a blood test says you don't have it when you do, and your blood test may say you do have it when you don't. So the blood tests are sort of all over their place in terms of their sensitivity and something we call their specificity. The other issue is, even if you have antibodies to coronavirus, we don't know what that means. We don't know if you're actually immune to it. So unless you're actually ill and actually sick, I think the tests are not worth very much. Now, the active test that you do to see whether or not you actively have coronavirus, in other words, where you have a swab in your nose, they're very important because they'll tell you whether or not you have to self-isolate. That test is the one we should keep on doing more and more and more often.
I think that's what she was asking. It's not a blood test. You've got to do the swab for the...
It's not a blood test. It's the nasal... But people do ask for the blood test all the time, and they wonder if they have it, and the answer is that's not the test we want. We want the swab.
Okay, let's try to get Arthur in Madison in here before we go. Hi, Arthur. What's your question?
Hi. I was wondering if somebody's downwind and you can smell like their suntan lotion or something like that, what if they sneeze and blow it like 12 feet or so away? Can you still get coronavirus?
Well, generally, it's 6 feet apart, and you're okay. That's generally what the thought is. So 12 feet, you're going to be pretty safe. Is there a risk and they sneeze on you? Maybe a little risk, but generally 6 feet is the answer, and 6 feet works.
And wear a mask.
Wear a mask. That's
Zorba,
right.
Thank you. Thank you all for calling in. We're out of time. We'll do this again next week.
Thank you, Zorba. Good to see you.
We'll have a final
My
check
pleasure.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
If your gums bleed when you brush, you may have gingivitis, and the clock could be ticking towards bad breath, receding gums, and possibly tooth loss. Help turn back the clock on gingivitis with Parodontax. Leave bleeding gums behind. Parodontax.
Flexible education means I didn't have to wait for a new semester to start classes.
Flexible education means I don't have to miss class when my sitter falls through.
Flexible education means I can meet with my instructor in person or online.
This is about the next 10 years. And you can make a difference today by completing the census.
The census impacts everything from hospitals, schools, and public transportation.
The census builds America, so the census should look like America.
Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
Though challenges surround us, life still goes on. There's still time to dream, still plans to be made. And if you're retiring soon, still deadlines to be met. We talk with people every day who need to replace their employer benefits when they retire. We can answer your questions too, so you can feel good about the decisions you make. For a retirement benefits checklist, visit us online or call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company today.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
At the Brothers
Brothers, Maine, we're on a mission to deliver more brands, more selection, and more savings on more appliances. See for yourself at the Brothers, Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger.
Friday morning, Hetty has a couple alert days in her weekend forecast, and a lot of businesses are struggling because of the challenges posed by COVID-19, though not all of them. We'll show you how one local woman took a risk and is now thriving, starting tomorrow.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today.
All right.
Good grief.
To show this one, we've got some sort of bug on top of our Edgewater sky camera there, really blocking the view of the Capitol. But here's the deal. We're going to be comfortable as we go through the rest of the afternoon. Highs will be in the 80s tomorrow.
It swallowed the dome. All right, Chris, thank you. Coming up tomorrow here on Live at 4, looking for a good summer read. We have some titles you might want to check out.
And our Michael Bruno goes behind the screens. He'll have a preview of Opera in the Park, the virtual show. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
It's Battery.
With Herzing University's Everywhere Classroom, you can earn a degree in today's hottest fields online. For a limited time, we'll waive your enrollment fee. See what your career can turn into. I'm possible at Herzing. Call or click today.
Hi, I'm Brian from McGann Furniture in Baraboo. At McGann's, our #1 priority is treating our customers right. We want your shopping experience to be fun and informative so you have all the information you need to make smart choices. We're shoppers too, and we believe in treating our guests like family. We always have and always will. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo. You'll be so glad you did.
So sexy it hurts. And I'm too sexy for Milan. Too sexy for Milan, New York.
Sometimes you run out of fresh at the wrong time. Luckily, Pick and Save delivery and free pickup make it easy to grab what you need, so you can get back to being you. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
U.S. Cellular.
Yeah.
New customer.
What's the deal?
Unlimited data, just $30 a month.
Love that. But what's the deal with the signal? It works everywhere. I'm like sub-level Z of this parking garage, and it still works. It's crazy.
Sir, you're going into signal shock, very common with new customers. Just breathe with me, okay? Unlimited data. Strong signal.
Strong signal.
All for $30 a month.
U.S. Cellular.
Choose fair.
Seattle's pledged to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
To the thousands of Herzing University nursing and healthcare alumni, for your tireless commitment, and to all of your brave colleagues across America, we say thank you. I'm possible at Herzing.
In today's Final Touch, the circus is back on stage in Rio de Janeiro.
Sort of. After almost 4 months of being unable to perform due to the pandemic, clowns, jugglers, and artists of the Estral Circus in Rio have found a way to go back on stage. They created the Circus Drive-In. Inspired by the model used for movies, the new alternative performances inside the circus